users of financial information. We being accounting students, or in our future accountants, must know that who would be using the financial information that we are processing. So put your all concentration in learning who are the users of financial information. So the first user is the investor or the shareholder or the owner of the entity, who would be concentrating that how well the management is performing. Whereas the second user of financial information is the trade contacts. This includes suppliers and the customers. And then comes lenders, who are the provider of finance. Suppliers and customers are interested to know about the financial health of the entity, so that the suppliers who have supplied goods or services to the entity will get their money back. And the customers, they would be interested to know that the health of entity, the financial health of entity, would be this much constant that this entity will be able to sell its products to the customer, which is in fact the needful of the customer. You know, if a customer is expecting that the customer will get this product from the entity as and when required, and the entity fails to supply the goods to the customer, it means the customer would ultimately be losing his own business. So that's why suppliers and customers, they are very much interested in the financial information of the entity. And lenders, obviously, they want to know from the financial information or the financial statements that would this entity be able to repay their loans on timely basis. Then comes government authorities or taxation authorities. In fact, they want to know that the entity or the business would be able to pay taxes on their profits, and also would be interested to know the size of sales and revenue on which certain taxes are imposed. Then managers and employees of the entity, they also want to know that how the business is to be managed. If there is some issue that needs to be addressed and reflecting from the financial statements, the managers and employees of the entity would be working out on that specific issue. And further, those managers and employees would also be interested to know that the entity's profits would be this much that they would be able to get their salaries or remuneration or bonuses timely basis. And then financial consultants or advisors, they also need to know the financial information of the entity for certain advices that they have to give to their clients. And government is also interested in the financial information of the entity in order to allocate certain resources to the organization. And finally, the public, because mostly the financial information of the entity or the business will tell to the public that how this entity is contributing to the local economy, which would ultimately be good or bad for the public. Let's practice this concept and see that how well we have learned through these true and false statements. Debt burden of the company is the information mostly required by income tax authorities. It's false. Dividend declaration is the information needed by shareholders. Yes, it's true. Financial ratios are most likely required by financial consultants. Yes, it's true, because they have to analyze the financial statements through these ratios. Then bonus to employees is the information that is needed by government. False. Government doesn't need this information. Then cost of sales information is usable for managers. Yes, it's true. And then welfare society is always interested in green policies cost of company. Yes, it's also true. So the important tips to remember in this module are that financial accounting produces general purpose financial statements, which is in fact focusing on the requirements of each user group. And the users, these users are internal to the entity as well as external from the entity. We see the managers, the employees, they are internal. Lenders, the trade contacts, the suppliers, the customers, government, taxation authorities, public. So mostly the users of the financial statements are external. Thank you very much.